If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description. Travis Scott just said something really interesting that might be very much so connected to his new album, Utopia. Today, we're again talking about Utopia. You know, there hasn't been much happening over the past couple of months concerning this new album, but of course, it's still there. It's still like it could drop any day, and we just don't know about it. So today, let's look at the new information that we got on Utopia. Let's get straight into this. So before we get into the really juicy news about this and the kind of the theories that fans have been making, I want to get everybody caught up and up to date on what's been happening with Utopia ever since I dropped the last video on this. Because obviously we still have those Road to Utopia residency performances that started in September, then went on in October, and now we're just kind of waiting on when the next ones are going to be. It's going to be 7 in total, and I mean, we thought that there was going to be more from those. We thought that we were going to get some sort of announcement out of those, some sort of new music. I mean, we did get snippets. We did get snippets with who was on it? Future, Uzi was on there, Cudi was on there, among others also Pharrell, but we'll get into Pharrell in a second. But all in all, we thought that, you know, we were going to get more details out of this. But, you know, it's still a possibility. Those are still ongoing, so they might be connected to Utopia in one way or another. Well, then in the meantime, he also dropped a new track, Down in Atlanta, with Pharrell, which is actually a Pharrell track, but Travis is featured on there. But they were like very closely connected in the creation of this thing. Y'all remember the leaks about this, the TikTok on Pharrell's account. And then the song actually dropped a week or two ago. It's actually pretty good. I really like it. And I think that Travis definitely, you know, at least gives us a little bit of a teaser of what's to come. It's not that like really psychedelic sound that he said was going to be this mind-warping experience with Utopia, but it's nice. It's a nice little, you know, song we got out there. People have been, you know, talking about this being the lead single to Utopia. Just the fact that this is a Pharrell song kind of excludes that for me, so this is likely not going to be on Utopia, but I never thought that anyways. People were saying that, but it's a Pharrell track. I think it's just a little, you know, nice single that they made together, but still, it's like it's like a life sign from Travis that he's still like out there making music. But now let's get into what is actually pretty exciting and what a lot of fans have been making some theories about. It is connected to Travis' performance at the Primavera Sound Festival in Chile that he headlined on the second day, and he was just doing his set, doing his performances, everything you do as a performer, probably getting a very big bag for that one. But then at the end, right before he was about to leave the stage, as he closes his set, he acknowledges one person specifically in the crowd, and that is Björk. Now, if you don't know Björk, she's a artist that was really popping in like the 90s, but she's just been making music ever since then. And you know, you can kind of tell that Travis might have been a fan of her. He even sampled her on Astroworld. But right there on stage, he acknowledged her presence and gave her a little shout out, which was really cute. He said, "I want to say one thing before I go. One of my favorite artists in the whole world is here tonight. Björk is here tonight. She's one of my biggest inspirations for why I do what I do. I'm so glad to be able to perform in front of her today. Björk, I effing love you so mother effing much." And this is, you know, in itself, nothing really special. You can just kind of be like, oh, he was just acknowledging an idol of his own that he's like looking up to, and now being like, oh, I made it because I'm performing in front of her. But it's actually, it gets a little bit deeper than this. And this is where we get a little bit into like the theory and like the stuff that is not confirmed. It's just kind of people pointing stuff out, and it's like, oh, that makes some sense. And we're going to break that down. Because very, very interestingly, Björk released an album in 2017 that had the title Utopia. And this album released on November 24th. And you gotta bear in mind that the clip of Travis shouting her out at the Primavera Sound Festival in Chile was from November 14th. So even back then, and this is something that I didn't see a whole lot being covered anywhere, even back then, 10 days before the date that 5 years ago Björk dropped her album, people were making theories about this. You know, people on Twitter just pointing out that this would be a coincidence if Travis also dropped on something like the 24th. Obviously, the 24th wasn't a Friday, the 21st was a Friday, but then there's the possibility that he will drop it around the same time, with the next Friday being the one after that, which was last Friday, the 25th. Now, obviously, Travis didn't drop, and that's kind of like the main argument we have against this. But if I saw this earlier, I didn't actually see this right when it happened, but if I saw this earlier, I would have been one of the people that was like, okay, now let me get this straight. Travis is supposed to drop an album called Utopia, has been teasing at it for the longest time now. I've made countless videos on it, and he shouts out Björk in the crowd, specifically, only her. It could be a coincidence, but hear me out. He shouts her out specifically in the crowd for everybody to hear, and he knows people are recording. He knows that this will reach all the fans, and he shouts her out around the same time that 5 years earlier she dropped an album called Utopia. Isn't that a really big coincidence? And as I said, this is where it gets into the theory making and kind of the conspiracy, direction. But I wanted to give this interesting information to you guys because when I saw this, I was like, come on, there's got to be something behind it. Travis got to be aware of this. And also, you can't tell me that if he says Björk is such a big inspiration for him and his music, that he didn't kind of like also take inspiration from the title Utopia of her album to then, transfer it over to his. Now, if that's not the case, I don't want to accuse him of anything. It's not even an accusation, it's just inspiration. But you can't tell me that that's a very, very big coincidence. And so connected to the fact that he also dropped down in Atlanta 1 or 2 weeks ago, and he's kind of been getting up in the conversations again, and now he's doing something like this where he's shouting out someone that has an album with the same title and him calling her one of his biggest inspirations, and the release dates falling so closely together. That's a very big coincidence. Obviously, we didn't get Utopia, but this was one of the moments where it was like, Travis, what are you doing? You playing with us? Aren't you playing with us? Like, it's got to come out at some point. He's like, he keeps hinting at it. He's really like edging us. Pause. But yeah. But he knows the fans are making these theories. He's very well aware of this, and I think at some point he got to drop the album because he knows he can't keep playing with us for too long. I don't think it's going to be this year still. I think it's going to be sometime spring next year. But still, it's some very interesting info that we got through all of this. What is also very interesting to you, if you're in the game for a new hoodie, might be the Ben's Music hoodie that you can check out in the YouTube merch bar. Hold up, I gotta get this up here. This is it. This is it. It is really comfortable. Plain white hoodie with my logo on it. Very, very comfortable. I wear this every day, and you're supporting your favorite YouTube boy. Definitely a great investment. Code TrueFan. Get 20% off of that. Already a very reasonable price, but with the 20%, it's a bargain. So make sure you go check that out. So that's it from the Travis news that we got. I wanted to give y'all this little piece of information with the Björk Utopia album and him shouting her out and her having an album called Utopia drop, 5 years ago on November 24th. I just thought that was a very big coincidence. And I see Travis like announcing something in the very near future. Maybe it's not even the album announcement, maybe it's for some movie, whatever. But Utopia related content gotta come at some point in the very near future. So yeah, all of your thoughts, all of your opinions, everything you got on this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.